Clinton Kane finally responded to Brooke Schofield and has decided to nitpick everything she said, but he did admit to lying about some things. So let's see what those are. Hello everyone. Oh, why did I do that? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new, and today we're just gonna get right into it because Clinton Kane responded to Brooke, and there's a lot to discuss. So for those of you that don't know what's going on like at all or recognize any of the names I'm talking about, I recommend you go watch my video I uploaded last week. She has recently since gone on different podcasts to talk about it after this, including her own and the Just Trish podcast. I only got halfway through the Just Trish podcast, so I probably shouldn't be making this video until I finish it, but oh well. In both of these podcasts, she doesn't talk as much about Clinton Kane as she does Zach Sang, so well, my sunburn's really showing. I will get to him after all of this. On July 13th, which is today, Clinton Kane finally responded to Brooke's spoof of the Risa T says, "Who the F Did I Marry?" by naming his. Clinton called the series "Who Did I Date, Not Marry, Lie," and then each video's number. So I fear he did miss the mark with this one because obviously you weren't married. I feel like he just might not know the Risa Tisa series. It went up to Lie 24. He did a total of 29 parts. So he did more parts than Brooke's series, which only got up to 17 parts, but his videos were more short. And I'm just gonna give you guys a quick summary of generally of what he talked about. I was originally gonna do a video by video debrief, but he kind of just talked about like nonsense, so I'll just give you guys a general overview, or I'll do the first like video by video. So the first video, the entire point of his like series was debunking everything Brooke said. His first video talks about how they were not together for 7 months, 6-7 months as Brooke says. Instead, they were together officially for 3. Now, Clinton did pull up a lot of receipts and stuff, but text messages only go so far. You can say this happened in text. Okay, great. You guys can be perfect in text, and in real life, it could be, your relationship can be in shambles. So please ignore my appearance and my cat's guest appearance. This is also not to mention the fact that new stuff has come out that the receipts were faked. I'll put some of the videos on TikTok I've seen proving that the, receipts, the text messages, the Uber screenshots he was posting were faked.
The time was 8.
Clinton Kane's text receipts are fake, and I'm only on video 4 and I clocked this. So he is showing a receipt from Brooke ex-girlfriend on August 22nd, 2022, using the iMessage reply feature. Here's CNN Business saying that the iMessage reply feature was released the week of September 17th, 2022. So unless he is like a beta tester for Apple, and that answers my previous question about what he does for a living, how were you using that a month prior? Additionally, I continue watching these videos, and some of the other text receipts are just conversations blacked out that say Brooke ex-girlfriend in the middle of the screen with one text showing. That could be to anyone. That could be to your mom. It should be to your mom.
He goes on to explain how him and Brooke officially got together June 7th of 2022 and broke up, I might be wrong on this date, but September 27th of 2022. So they were together for 3 months. Brooke's timeline is that they started talking mid-May and officially ended and never spoke relationship-wise again in October. So that is like mid-October too. So they were together for 6 months. So that was his first debunk, if you can even call it that. And was that Brooke in her series often, or on podcasts in general, often talks about how they were together all the time. Clinton then does some math and says generally that they were not together every second of every day, like Brooke says. Instead, they were together for half of the time they were together. So essentially every other day they were together, not every day. Oh my gosh, this concealer doesn't match me, guys. I got a tan, and I'm not sure what to do about it. Brooke was a liar about this. She wasn't, wow, I really can't. It looks like I have sunscreen on my face. Let me figure this out. So, like, I don't know, but if I were dating someone, I saw them essentially every other day, and the longest going without seeing them was like 3 to 4 days, I would consider us together every single day. I would. The third video, he goes on to talk about the Kid Rock situation, which kind of was a useless video. Apparently, Brooke didn't call Kid Rock hot. In her words, she goes, "I'd fuck the shit out of Kid Rock." Apparently, they were out with dinner with his friends, so this made him feel uncomfortable. And then they had a fight in the Airbnb, and according to him, which it would blow up like they always do, which Brooke has already said that their fight's pretty nasty. So Clinton was like uncomfortable with this, but this whole entire like narrative was kind of just insane. Like it wasn't really important. Like, why? She didn't say that he was hot. She said that she'd fuck the shit out of him. Okay. And the fourth video, he then goes on to talk about how when Brooke said when they first met, after they were at the club, which I mentioned in my first video, they went to dinner, or they went to like this diner afterwards for 4 hours. He goes, it wasn't 4 hours, it was 1 hour. And then he shows like the Uber receipts. And I don't know, but if my ex had made a claim that I lied about my whole family's death and, you know, saying that I'm lying about where I'm from, I don't know if I'd go into all the nitty gritty about little details like an hour and 4 hours and how she called Kid Rock hot, because she still did call Kid Rock hot. She just said it in like a more crazier way. But yeah, me personally though, you know, but I'm not Clinton Kane, thank God. He also talks about how she just dramatized everything about how they didn't go to vacations all the time, how they only went 3 times, and that when they did go to dinner at Nobu, it wasn't 7 people like Brooke said, it was instead 4. Clinton's main broad theme of this entire 24-part series was nitpicking everything Brooke said and being like, we were not together for 6 months. We were together for 3 months officially as dating. Well, I guess we were together for 6 months of being romantic with each other. So, like, just stupid stuff like that where it makes you sound stupid. Like, you literally just got quote-unquote accused, allegedly, since you like to go ahead and claim that everything you have said is still truthful. He's literally getting accused of claiming that his family's dead when they're not, and claiming that he's from somewhere else when he's not. And he's more worried about whether the people know if they were together for 3 months more or less than they actually were. Or such things as just like, we weren't together at the diner for 4 hours. It was 1 hour. Who gives a flying fuck, dude? Like, final few videos he posts, he does admit to the cheating. So he basically does like a notes app, not apology, but notes app reading, which, you know, is a step up from some of the awful apologies we've had from people in the past. Things he does, he basically explains how he did cheat on Brooke and how he regrets that. And most of his stuff ends up going back to mental health and just, I was in the right headspace. And obviously not. Obviously not. He then continues to talk about in his narrative how he's also put out an article with Rolling Stones explaining how it's not that his mother died, it's that a mother figure to him died. He also talks about this mother figure in his 24-part series and how it's just easier for him to say his mom died rather than explain the relationship he had with this woman. Also, quickly just to mention, the way he describes this relationship with this woman is that he was on like a park bench at a low point of his life when he was younger. This woman comes over to him and comforts him. And he says that she just knew because she was also a mother and had kids his age. When you reflect on that, it sounds like I'm not going to just be like, oh, he was groomed. But it does sound like some sort of grooming. Or some parental, if that's even the word, like relationship that's not just purely platonic. Or a mother role. Like, it does seem like older woman, younger boy. It's weird, and I'm surprised he put that out there. Because no one would understand the relationship he had with her enough. And he didn't feel like explaining himself. He also didn't feel like explaining himself as to where he's from. He then, I'll put a little screenshot here. Because apparently growing up, Clinton Kane got around. He apparently was born in the Philippines in 1999. Then he moved to Australia, then to Manchester, then to Brunei, then to Singapore, then to Cyprus. So, he also spent some time in Greece Amsterdam, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, and then came to the United States between ages 19 and current 19 to 24. It's easier to say that he's from Australia rather than explaining his whole origin. And like, I don't know, but all he has, oh, where are you from? Oh, like I just kind of come from all over the place. I was born in the Philippines, but I grew up mostly in Australia. And someone's like, oh, like where else? Like, oh, you know, just, it's too much for me to talk about. All you have to do, all you have to fucking do. And I think it's a little crazy to not explain everywhere you're from with your girlfriend. It was only 3 months. Okay, 3 months you were still dating. 90 days you had to explain yourself. There's just no excuse to being like, to lie where you're from. You can't cover that one up. Like, you know, Brooke would know your whole, you know. I'm sure I forgot some details, but that's the moral of the story. It was just him nitpicking everything Brooke said and admitting to lying about his age and not lying about where he's from, but explaining himself as to, I'm from everywhere, so it's just easier, dude. So then most of his things, he did have a lot of screenshots. So while watching it, I'm like, he might have a point here. As of right now, he posted a video 19 hours ago debunking again the TikTok I put, or not that one specifically, but the Uber receipts of him only Uber for 2-minute walk. Is that, oh, like, you know, he stops at Target first to get some alcohol. And so he just did like another TikTok explaining that. Here's my thing, walk the fucking 2 minutes to Target. And okay, let's say all the Uber receipts are correct. Still, like, you're still lying in the text messages. So, and then, you know, the more you watch, you're like, but it's kind of just like talking in circles. I can't find it, and I'm not gonna watch his whole entire series. I had to watch in 2x speed because I wanted to, you know, I don't want to give misinformation, or at least be like, oh, and he said this and he didn't say this. But he did pull out a notes app because Brooke's thing is like, oh, I didn't want to hurt his mental health. Like, he's obviously not in the right headspace, so I wasn't gonna call him out and ruin out his mental health. He then pulls out a notes thing that Brooke had. He then showed a note that Brooke sent him, like in the notes app, titled, Things I Could Do to Clinton Kane That Wouldn't Be Half As Bad As What He Did to Me. And I think it's kind of crazy because half the things on here, he would have to go into depth about. Some of them being like, tell the world his family's alive, destroy his career and personal relationships like he destroyed my life, leak all his songs, tell people that he made me cry every time I said I didn't want to have sex with him. Like, okay. I really don't even know what to say to that. Clinton Kane posted these videos around like 8 to 9 hours ago as I'm recording this. And Brooke, you know, he posted this while she was sleeping. Brooke then, you know, starts posting some, you know, responses to him just being like, she's crazy. She's a liar about everything. I'm amazing. Well, not I'm amazing. But in a way, it's like, she's a liar. I'm not. How dare she do this to me? Her first like response video to this 4 hours ago, and I'm sure there's gonna be more coming out. As of right now, she has 12 videos out. Dude, you literally cheated on her and lied and manipulated her. Like, even if his story is the true narrative, you still cheated on her and still lied about your age to her. So Brooke has just been kind of responding to what he is saying. Now, this section of the video is where I start talking about Zach saying, and I just feel as though I didn't explain it the best as I could, and new stuff's come out. Brooke's responded more, Tana's come out and responded. So I think I'm gonna do a separate video on more of the aftermath of Clinton's response because I did it, or started talking about it so early that I didn't give the chance for the media to, you know, give me all my resources. So I will hold off on doing that. That'll probably be next week's video or later on this week. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.